Hey guys, Dwayne from Fire Bros. So the LS3 or the L70, whatever it was, that was attached to this 6L80E came out of a 2014 police car, Chevy Caprice. So this 6L80 is the next series that we're going to look at. It's going in my 70 Chevelle, and we're trying to get it to sit underneath the stock console. But I bought a low car shifter for it, and it has the tap shift feature. It didn't have a separate gate to move it over to. It was all in line, so I sent it back. The guys at Low Car were really good about putting a gate in there so that you can move it over into the tap shift mode. But once they did that, they referred us to a place called Speartech. Speartech does TCU, ECU programming. They do a ton of different stuff. You can get on Speartech's website. They build engine harnesses. They've got a new reverse light relay for these electronic transmissions that you can hook in for your reverse lights. But what we're doing is, as you can see, I've already removed the pan on this 6L 80E transmission. And what they need us to do is send the ECU, the engine control module, and also the transmission control module in together so that they can be programmed for tap shift and the functionality of this electronic transmission. So they've got a pretty extensive how-to on their website if you want to go there and look at it. But like I said, I've removed the pan so far, and I'll get the camera moved around and I will let you see what part of this we have to remove to send in. And it's pretty simple. It's not real hard to do. It does require a different style Torx bit, but I can show you that. The part number's on their website also, and I'll get some of this stuff taken care of and the camera turned around, and I'll show you what we have for this transmission. All right, so here we are. Try and show you this without getting you sick with the moving camera. But obviously you remove your pan filter. This is the underside of the pan on this 6L 80E. And what we're going to be removing is this whole section here. This is your TCU. In their instructions, it says we need to pop this up. We need to remove this filter. Ooh, which I just did very unprofessional like. But you can see this whole section here is what they need to be sent to them, along with the engine control module, which is this, the computer for what we're running. And both of those need to be sent in and programmed accordingly to have the tap shift mode put in it. But I will put this on fast forward so that you guys can see how it's removed. This is the socket I was talking about. It looks like a Torx, but it's a little different. They're fatter edges as far as the star goes on this part. This is a 10 EPL, but it's a snap-on socket. On their website, they talk about another company with another socket, which is probably cheaper and works just as good. But on how to remove there's 6 or 8. One here, 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 and here. So there's a few of these besides just the normal small 8mm socket, or the 8mm head bolts that come out of this. So I'll get that set up and we'll get this removed, and you can see what it looks like once it comes out. One of the other things I wanted to show you with this is this slip yoke, and obviously the nut's not in there right now, but this slides into the back of this transmission because the way this transmission was set up in that vehicle is a rear wheel drive Caprice, but they had that big round rubber dampener that was attached to here that your drive shaft would attach to that rubber dampener. Some of the newer Camaros have it. The Caprice had it. Some of the other rear-wheel drive cars had that dampener, and this replaces that. It basically looks like the rear yoke on your diff on a stock GM like Chevelle differential or Camaro differential with the caps, U-joint caps, that kind of thing. Let me get the camera set up and we'll start removing that TCU. So you can see the valve body was removed. They say to watch these 4 rubber gaskets, make sure that they stay in place. They're like rubber grommets. They appear to all be attached. So you just need to make sure that they stay in the transmission. When you pull it up, you got to kind of slide it back just a little bit so that this doesn't catch. This is your plug boot that goes through for the electronics for your transmission. So pretty simple to remove. And I'll get it spun back around again and I'll show you the removal of taking that off. Okay, so in the instructions that they have there, you need to remove this, which I can do right now, but we need to remove all the electrical components from the TCU, and once these are removed, it will I'll bust all these loose by hand, but I'm going to get my electric impact to end up threading them out because some of these are long. But once this is done, it says also that there's this one here that needs to be removed. So this is the bottom of it. Okay, so here it is. The only problem I had was just this one plug right here. Just seeing that this needed to be pushed down here. Without trying to break any of the wires or clips or anything else, this is the only thing that really hung me up, and it was just from never doing it before and having to just gain access to see it, and then I could see how to release that. So this is the TCU. This is what you send in to get programmed, and I will put it in 2 Ziploc bags so it doesn't leak, and send this and my engine computer in, and have them open up the tap shift mode for this, and also reprogram the ECU to recognize this transmission and the tap shift and whatever else that they do there at Speartech. And I'm also getting the solenoid for and relay, not the solenoid, but the relay for the reverse lights to work on this. So other than that, it wasn't too bad coming apart. Just it has to go back together clean, and make sure you inspect all your rubber gaskets. You look through the transmission from what you can see and make sure there's no metal. I was pretty surprised, being this was a police car. You know, I know they do maintenance on them pretty frequently, but I was expecting to see giant pieces and parts once we pulled all this apart and smell burned transmission oil and everything else, and that wasn't the case. It's a little dark and fluid, but you know, I've seen worse, and the pan and the magnet in the pan had very, very little of anything on it. So we'll keep you up to date on this. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into this box. You know, pretty extensive instructions on the tap shift wiring. You know, for the 6L80, 6L90s, it comes with the wiring harness stuff for and instructions for your reverse light relay, which we got. The attention to detail with these guys is, you know, awesome. You know, everything's labeled. It's in this real heavy Ziploc bag, obviously, because it's got transmission fluid and stuff in it. You know, it's labeled with the invoice number, all that gee whiz stuff. But the cool things are, is it's bomber, it's bomber wiring harnesses. It's quality stuff. Nice wiring. This is the tap shift box. It's all plug and play. Like I said, the instructions are really nice on how it works. You do have to send in your engine control module, and they program this and the TCU so they recognize each other and work together, especially in the tap shift mode. And then, like I was saying earlier, we did get the reverse light relay edition. So like the 6L80, 6L90s, the 10L90s, that stuff, they all have the electronics in them, so that you have to tap into them to get your reverse lights to work. You have to use the reverse light relay. So we have that as well. They were really good about this stuff. Some of the questions they ask you is this tire diameter, gear ratio, that kind of stuff, so that they know how to program the transmission control unit to understand and see, and so that it shifts properly. And it's been a good experience so far, and we'll continue to use these guys. Without further ado, we'll go ahead and start getting this stuff installed into the transmission.